Oh, we've got a nice lens flare going on. Let's see if I can fix this real quick. It's not too dark. Perfect. That is perfect. Yay! I'm trying to stay busy, and this is like the day after when I filmed that last one for last week. I'm trying to kind of compile all of my videos, so it looks like I'm in Florida, but in reality I'm not in Florida. I don't know where I am because time travel is complicated, you know, so yeah. So in case you're confused or whatever, I'm not actually still in Florida in real life. Does this even make sense? I don't even know. Anyways, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Man, I've been getting a lot of emails lately, and one of the main emails that I've been getting is to talk about taxes. So I've been kind of putting it off because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to talk about it. It's kind of a it can kind of get you in trouble if you're not careful kind of things, but we're going to talk about it. So before we get started with that, I just want to let you guys know I am not a tax professional. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. I'm not anything like that. Okay, my situation is probably way different than yours. So if you have questions, you need to actually talk to someone that is a professional in the field, right? I don't take everything I say with a grain of salt, right? Just remember, I don't have kids. I'm not married. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have anything like that. Okay, so my situation is very unique. It's very different from the majority of people that are my age or even younger. Okay, so keep that in mind. With that being said, I'm not going to talk about how much I made last year because it wasn't that much because I started so late in the year. So today instead I'm going to talk about how, you know, certain things that you can do to kind of help you be prepared for tax season when it comes at the end of the year. Things that I use, apps I use, ways I stay organized and prepared, things I look for, you know, all that good stuff. So we're going to talk about that today. So grab a cup of coffee, grab a beer because you're probably going to need it after this, and let's get started. Okay, so first of all, nobody wants to do taxes, right? Nobody wants to worry about taxes. They don't want to worry about receipts. They don't want to worry about, you know, bookkeeping and all that stuff. If you guys are lucky enough to have your wife or your spouse come with you and she does all that for you, you need to buy her whatever she wants, because it can be a kind of a pain in the butt, and you know, it's the last thing you want to do, right? You drove like 600-700 miles. It's been a full 14-hour day for you. You know, you're going into the truck stop with 1 minute left on your drive time. It's just been a crappy day. I get it. The last thing you want to do is sit there and deal with receipts and doing bookkeeping stuff and all that stuff. I get that. But it's something we've got to do. So today I want to talk about just different things that I do to help keep me organized. That way at the end of the year, I literally download a spreadsheet and I send it. Either if I'm doing myself, I just download it, print it out, and I follow that while I do my taxes, or I send it to my accountant or my preparer and they do them for me. Okay, that's your goal. That's your goal, is to just not have to worry. Okay, we are stressed out. We have a very stressful job as it is, right? Last thing we need to be worrying about is running around trying to find all the receipts from the past 6 months because we haven't stayed on top of this. So today I'm going to talk about just really, really easy ways. All it takes is like 10-15 minutes a night after you stop. That's it. And it'll make your life so much easier. Okay, so let's start. The first thing I do is I keep a little, it's like a pencil pouch. It's like the little zipper pencil pouch looking things. Sometimes they're used for like deposits and keeping cash, you know, that kind of thing. I'll put a little picture somewhere. I don't know. There's a picture somewhere on the screen right now. I keep that up front with me while I'm driving, okay? Every time I stop for fuel, if I buy anything for the business, whether it's paper or pens or any type of liquid like coolant or whatever it is, that receipt goes in that pouch every single day. The only receipt you don't have to keep for any reason is your food, okay? And I'll go over that here in a minute. But I keep those receipts in that pouch every single day. At the end of the day, and this is so important, guys, I get it. This is the last thing that any of us want to do. I totally understand that, okay? Before I get out of the vehicle, before I move from that driver's seat, does not matter. At the end of the day, when I have stopped, I will take that pouch, I will take my phone, and I will record all of the transactions into the app that I use to keep track of my taxes, okay? I do that every single night. Trust me, there are nights I don't want to, okay? There are nights that I just want to go inside to the Petro, sit down at that little counter at the iron skillet, and, you know, BS my way through life with, you know, all the other truckers and, you know, get fat and eat carbs, and I get it, okay? I totally get it. It's the last thing you want to do, but I promise you guys it's going to make your life that much easier, okay? Once I get done with those, I take them and I have like a file, like a folder type, file folder type thing. I just stick it in that for right now, and then I will deal with it later. Now, couple things about this, and you use this at your own discretion. I highly recommend that you guys find a tax professional and ask them or talk to them about this. But I have heard that you don't have to keep physical receipts anymore as long as you keep a digital, as long as you have a good digital record of that transaction, you don't have to keep the receipts anymore. I've heard that from several preparers over the past couple of years. Take that as you will, okay? Take that at your own discretion. I'm a little paranoid because this is a brand new business for me. It's a brand new business altogether. So I plan on keeping the receipts just for a couple of years, just for my sanity and my anxiety. Okay, I get really bad anxiety, and that, you know, it just kind of helps ease my mind a little bit knowing I have that physical copy. So I'm almost positive I read that on the IRS website that they are actually moving towards digital, or they already have. If I can find it, I'll leave it down below. If you guys have heard that or you haven't heard that, leave comments down below, let us know. This is a communal effort right here, okay? Like I said, I'm not an expert. This is just what I do to help me, okay? So that's my receipt issue, okay? That's how I deal with my receipts. It has saved me hours upon hours of time at the end of the year. It has saved me a lot of stress and a heartache at the end of the year because I don't have to worry about it, okay? The app I use, I've probably used every single app out there, and I just couldn't find the one, you know? QuickBooks is good, but there's a lot of fluff to it that we don't need, you know? Towards the taxes of owner-operators, that's what I was looking for. And I couldn't find it. Like, I would try Expensify, that would irritate the snot out of me. I tried QuickBooks, Zero, Expensify, I tried Stride. Man, there's a lot that I've tried. And I just, there was something about them I didn't like. This app is phenomenal, okay? It is called Keeper Tax. And it is, guys, it's a fantastic app. I highly recommend it. It works really, really well for like owner-operator type of business. It's very easy to use. And the great part about it is they have representatives on there that will kind of help you keep track of stuff. So you can link your business bank account and your business credit card, and that way it kind of automatically does its thing. Okay, and if you see something that's not supposed to be on there, take it off or whatever. They will double check with you. They have a little representative. She's a bookkeeper that will kind of be like, hey, is this, you know, a deduction, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they help you. They help kind of keep you on track, which is phenomenal. Highly recommend this app. It does cost money. Okay, I know a lot of people are like, oof. I know how truckers are, you know, a bunch of cheapskates, but it does cost money. I think it's like 16 bucks a month, which isn't bad considering you get basically a bookkeeper to help keep you on track as well. You know, kind of a second pair of eyes, which is great. But yes, Keeper Tax. I highly recommend that app. Absolute game changer. No, sadly, I'm not sponsored or represented by them. If you want to sponsor me though, anyways, it's getting awkward. I know. Gotta keep it clean, Jen. Keep it clean for the kids. I don't get out much. Okay, so let's talk about your food receipts. You do not have to keep your food receipts, and here's why. In terms of the owner-operator life, there's probably one thing that has been done correctly, for the most part. Even then, it's kind of meh, but you know what I mean. So there is this magical deduction that we get that is called a per diem. This is, this is gold for us, okay? You absolutely need to make sure that you do your per diems if you are 1099. And basically, every day that you are not sleeping at home, you get an allowance from the government, essentially, okay? I can't remember the rate. I think it's $66 a day right now. They take a certain percentage of that and deduct it from your taxes. That is going to save you a ton of money on your taxes, especially if you're like me and you like to be out a lot, okay? A way to keep track of your per diem, if you need, like, for this, I would recommend printing these out. Make sure you print out your logs, especially if you're doing electronic. Make sure you print out your logs pretty much every month or every quarter. That way you do have the physical copy, so that if you do get audited, you can confirm your per diem based upon your logs. That's a great way to keep track of how many days you've been out and away from home. So make sure you guys do that. It's good to keep record of those anyway, but that's another reason to do so. Guys, do that. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you talk to somebody about it. If you are brand new and you go to H&R Block or whatever, and they don't mention anything about a per diem, you need to go to someone else, okay? Taxes for us are very different from a 9-to-5 kind of job. There's a lot of different things that we can get potentially that a lot of people can't. So make sure that if you are going to go to someone to do this for you, that they understand that they essentially that they've dealt with owner operators before. Okay, that's basically what you're doing. Okay, you need somebody that's prepared for owner operators before. Okay, ATBS is actually a company that strictly deals with owner operators. They are a little pricey, but again, if you are brand new and you want the comfort in knowing that someone that knows what they're doing is doing it for you, that is an option for you. But yeah, ATBS does stuff specifically for owner operators. Okay, another super important organizational thing that you need to do: keep your business stuff separated from your personal. Whether you have this under a LLC or a sole prop, or you just have it under your name, get a separate checking account and get a separate credit card, and only use those two things for anything that's related to what you're doing with this, right? When you start mixing personal accounts with business accounts, and business expenses are on your personal checking or this credit card, you guys, I promise you, you are going to get absolutely frustrated. First of all. Second of all, if you have a tax preparer, she's probably going to come and beat you up while you sleep, okay? Because that's going to absolutely piss them off if they have to like go through this web of transactions just to find stuff to deduct. Okay, don't do it. I promise you, it is so much better to keep this stuff separated from your personal accounts. So what I've done is I have a little sole proprietorship. Okay, I have a business account and then I have a business credit card, and I keep all of my transactions for business related stuff on those two things. Okay, so like for example, honestly, the only reason why I have the credit card is A, to build up the business credit, and B, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you try to rent a car from an airport, like 90% of them want you to put it on a credit card. They won't take a debit card or cash or anything else. I know, it's ridiculous, but I learned that the hard way, so just trust me on that. You need a credit card for rentals, at least, at a minimum. So that's kind of that's really the only reason why I have it, to build up my credit for my business and to not have to deal with, you know, just having that for the rentals. Okay, so for example, and here's another reason why it's fairly important. You get in an accident, somebody sues you, and you're doing a lot of your businesses, you're intermingling your business and your personal accounts together for your business, they could use that as business assets. Okay, you have to keep your stuff separated. And I know somebody's going to argue with me about that, but I've seen it happen before with somebody that I know. So guys, please keep your stuff separated. Do not intermingle personal and business accounts. It's going to keep your stress level down, and it's going to help protect you even more. The number one question that I have been asked about all of this is, how do I zero out my expenses? How do I zero out my taxes so I don't have to pay taxes? And I'm not going to answer that, but I am going to bring it up because I don't think people understand that there are kind of consequences. There could be potential consequences to zeroing out every single year. It does put you at higher risk for audit, so I've heard. I'm assuming the first 2 or 3 years of a brand new business, you can get away with it, because most businesses don't even make profit, you know, for the first couple years at least. They're usually at a loss, if not zero. But it could raise some flags, you know, if you're expensing out $140,000 worth of stuff every year. That might put you at potential audit, so just be careful with that. One thing that I don't think a lot of people think about, or you know, they might not even know, is if you are trying to do something like a major purchase, and then you zero out your expenses, you're going to have a really hard time getting that major purchase. Okay, so for example, my goal for next year is to get a truck so I can transition over to towaway. I want to get a nice truck. I'm not spending 80 grand for it, but I want to get something decent, you know, something that's not going to like fall apart every day, and you know, that kind of thing. So I have to show some kind of income for this year. So next year I will be paying taxes, right? If I zero out and then I go and try and get, you know, a $40,000 truck, they're gonna laugh at my face. They're like, well, you don't have any income. And I'm like, well, I do. You know, I made this much amount on my business. They're like, but yeah, but your expenses, you didn't make any income for yourself. You see what I'm saying? So if you're trying to get a house, if you're trying to get a vehicle, if you're trying to do some kind of major purchase that is going to require them to look at your income for the year, don't zero out your taxes, okay? If you are set, if you've got the car you want, you don't plan on making any kind of purchases for the next 3 to 5 years, and you're good to go, zero out, zero away, you know, do it. Okay, so that's something you guys really really need to be careful with. There's different ways to do it. I'm not going to get into how to zero out, because a lot of people, it's very different for different people, but just think about it before you, because it's like people are obsessed with that almost, but they don't really think of the consequences of zeroing out. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I think we've covered quite a bit. Anyways, I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope this has helped in some way, especially if you're new. You know, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Please leave them down below if other people want to jump in and help out. If you guys have any tips or any type of deductions that, you know, people might not necessarily think about, leave them down below as well, and we can kind of build up a little tax 101 down here for Driveaway drivers. So anyways, guys, I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit, and I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy, and please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys next week.